Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Just out for a little back roads ride today. Looking at the cows. There's cows everywhere. I used to work on a farm. We had cows and milk cows, and I don't miss it any. I miss that fresh milk. But other than that, I really don't miss it. Used to ride dirt bikes back in them days. Dirt bikes and four-wheelers. I had three-wheelers. I've had about everything back in those days, and a lot of the old dirt bikes, of course, was two-strokes. Pretty much mostly everything I had. I did have a few four-strokes, some XLs and some XRs. And a lot of the XLs I had back then was the ones that was a DUALSPORT, but they had been converted, basically. The signals taken off and everything, and people used those dirt bikes. And I had some two-strokes that was pretty cool, air-cooled, of course. Had some water-cooled ones later, but when I was real young it was air-cooled. Some of them had high and low range on them. You got a little butterfly thing. Some of you guys will remember that on the side of the case there, and you could take your foot, kick it. Ooh, there's a hell of a pothole. But I actually skipped that and put it in low range, and man, they just crawl like a mountain goat. And it's crazy how you could get around with one of those things, just putting around. Good part was you didn't have to worry about if you tore something up. Heck, wasn't a big deal. Gas tank was metal, and most of it was metal, and they didn't have much suspension either, like the bikes now. They're nothing like this thing here. But there's old carbureted bikes, so you know, a carburetor, you fall over on your bike and you start pouring gas out everywhere because you got a overflow on the carburetor. In case the float level gets off or whatever, it overflows. Instead of going into your engine, it should overflow and go out with a little hose on the side of the carburetor. Well, when you lay it over, of course, the float really ain't working, so the gas runs out, the gravity flow, and runs out all over the place. And a lot of times it does run into your engine anyway and floods the bike out. But lots of fun on these back roads and stuff, riding the old dirt bikes. Had an Elsinore 125. Probably didn't say that right. Elsinore 125. I also had a Elsinore, which is a Honda Elsinore, in case you didn't know, 250, air-cooled. And then we got into the CRs, which was like a fire-breathing dragon compared to the Elsinore. One of the funny things I always remember about an Elsinore was I had moved on from Elsinores. I mean, I even got, you know, into the CR250s. Mostly 125s was pretty much gone for me then. I was into the bigger bikes. 250s, I had a CR500, water-cooled two-stroke, a 89 model. So it was a fire-breathing dragon. And so was the 89, the 88 CR250s. They had a power band that was pretty cool, you know, wicked power bands on them bikes. They wasn't so smooth. But I had a guy come to the shop one time, and he had an Elsinore, and I worked on bikes, and I was like, oh man, I can remember the power of that beast. That 250 Elsinore was so awesome. And of course I think then I had a 96 CR250. It was right before they switched over to the aluminum frame, which was 97, yeah. So 96 CR250, back in the Jerry Mamograd days. This guy brought in the Elsinore. It was like mint condition. It looked brand new. All I'd done was change the oil. I think I put an air filter on it and a few things, a plug in it. And man, I couldn't wait. You know, he wasn't there, so I thought, man, I'm gonna get this thing, just go down the road, try it out, and make sure it runs good. And I can't wait to feel that power again. I miss it, you know, back in the days. That old two-stroke ringing, you could hear you could just about hear the piston and the rings inside the cylinder, because the air-cooled, they wasn't really like insulated like the water-cooled motors. So you could really hear the ringing in the engine itself through the fins of the motor. And of course it was a two-stroke, so you know you had the pipe on it. This bike was stock, but still, I thought, man, I can't wait to try this out. I got on that thing, and it run perfect. It was like brand new. Looked brand new. Rode it down the road, and I was just giving it. I mean, I was throttling, shifting gears, everything it's got, and I'm like, holy cow, what the heck? This thing is a turd. It's just because I remembered back then riding that thing and it being so powerful, but then I have rode so much since, you know, owning CRF300s and CRF250s and all that stuff, that they're so much more advanced and so much more power than that Elsinore, that Elsinore just felt horrible. Suspension sucked, power sucked. It was just cool just to have the old Elsinore ride again after all those years. I still would love to have one, just because they're such a icon in the dirt bike scene. You know, the old Honda Elsinores. I even had some big XRs, well, I had an XR200, XR650, 350. The 650 was a beast. It was a good wheelie machine, man. You could ride that thing for days on a wheelie. Now, kickstarting it wasn't so fun. If you got it where it was flooded or anything, oh, you could kill yourself kickstarting that thing. I definitely didn't like that kickstarting part. And some of them old bikes, especially some of the old two-strokes, if they wasn't just set up just right, they would kick back, and that kick lever would get you in the shins. Holy cow, that hurt. That was no fun at all. I had traded or bought a Husqvarna off my friend Kevin. It was a Husqvarna water-cooled 250 two-stroke, and man, I bought that thing off of him. It was a good running bike, no doubt. Probably wasn't like the CR250, but it was still pretty good. But it was one of those bikes that if you didn't get a full kick on that thing, man, it felt like it broke your dang leg. Yeah. So, lots of fun on the old dirt bikes. Started out on a Honda QA50 little bike, and it's been fun ever since. And then when I got into the DUALSPORT, I think the CRF300L is the greatest thing I've ever had. When I got back into the DUALSPORT market after having a few back in my younger days and then quitting it, just going pretty much motocrossing and ATVs, and now to get back on the CRF300L. Of course, I had two 250Ls before this. I had a DR650 SE, which was big and heavy, but it was a good bike. And this is my passion, and that's my passion because I've always, when I raced in motocross and rode dirt bikes ever since I was young, I can still enjoy street bikes and stuff, and even like a Gold Wing, I've rode them, a lot of fun, but it's not me. I fit the dirt bike, and riding the CRF300L, I'm not saying power-wise, suspension-wise, or nothing like that, but I'm talking about the ergonomics and just the bike feel. It just feels like you are on a Honda CR250 or whatever. I mean, it just feels like you're on a motocross bike. And that's part of the reason why I like the standard CRF300L so much, and not the Rally. The Rally to me feels more like the Africa Twin, you know, because it's got the fairing and your handlebars turn with this bike and your headlights turn with it. On the Rally, your bars are turning, your headlights are stationary. So, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what somebody likes. I just like this motocross dirt bike feel, which the Rally doesn't have the dirt bike feel really. It's more of like a mini adventure bike feel. So when I'm on this bike, I am at peace with the world. I'm telling you, I feel so good. I can take all day. We rode two up the other day, rode 200 miles. My old rump was getting sore. My wife definitely was, sitting on the back. This stock seat just is horrible. We have a Seat Concepts on the way, hopefully, an XL they're sending me. But I can ride that many hours, and I could still, if she would have wanted to go, I could go all day and go for up in the dark. I could just keep going. That's one thing I can do is, if I'm gonna ride, I'd love to just keep riding. I even rode with the young guys, and they'd all be like, we're tired, we're ready to go home. I'm like, oh, come on. An ugly third grader can ride longer than that. But kind of do what you got to do. Anyway, just a little visit with you guys while I'm out riding the bike. Thank you all for watching. Click the thumbs up. Check out all my Amazon links below to the tires and all the stuff for this bike and my Amazon store. Click the thumbs up like I said. Subscribe to my channel because more videos will be coming. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Right on.